Oh shoot, it's time for another video. Hi. I'm back. Sorta. I mean, I'm coming back. It's a process. I'm working on it. I'm almost there. I've completely revamped my shooting and lighting situation for the home bedroom studio. And it's in a good place. It's in a place that I'm happy with for the most part now. Finally. And I have some plans for renewing the channel and bringing back some of the things I really liked about it, and some of the things that everybody else really liked about it. Like, I'd like to do a gaming spot, but I think other reviewers are better at reviewing modern games than I am, mostly because I'm terrible at games, and I don't have the time or the money or the sponsorship to get and play and review current games. I just don't really have that time. The other thing is that I'm not really interested in modern games. They just don't really do anything for me. Sorry. Like, there's a very small number of games that I find really interesting, and most games are not that. Sadly. I have a very strange taste in games, a very particular taste. But the thing is, what I want to review, what I really want to dive into and explore, I think it'd be really fun, is older games, like older games. To that end, I'm building a trio of retro PCs. I've got a Pentium 150 MX, and a K62 550, I'll try and run at 600. And my favorite, a Barton Core Athlon, which I'm hoping to run at a slight overclock. It should run at 2.2 gigahertz stock. I'm going to try and run it at a slight overclock. But I'd like to explore the games that were available in those three time periods of, like, the 90s on the Pentium, the late 90s, early 2000s on the K6, and then the early to mid 2000s on the Athlon. I think it'd be interesting. A lot of those games, like, I had gaming PCs back then, around those time periods, but they were terrible. My Pentium class machine was Cyrex. That didn't do well for gaming. My K6, I did have a K6, but it was a 333 that I ran at 350, and was still slower than my Pentium 100 that I had at the same time. It's a long story. There was a bug with the motherboard, and it was bad. And at the time, I didn't have the kind of cash that I could just swap my motherboard over, so I was just stuck with it. And then the Athlon, actually, I had a great system. That was the first time I was able to build a system out of new parts for the express purpose of gaming, and it was a fantastic machine and I loved it. And then I went to college and I had no money and I couldn't buy any games. So I didn't get to play any games anyway. Those are the three time periods I want to do gaming reviews on. And I've got a solution in line. I don't have the hardware yet, but I have the solution in line for recording the VGA out of these machines, which would be great. So I don't have to do it through emulation, so I'm doing actual games and actual hardware, which is awesome. I always find that really interesting. For number two, I guess this is number two, I would like to take folks on my journey through teaching myself to compose music. I have always wanted to, and I've always kind of tried to, but I've mostly been terrible at it. And I'd like to, really buckle down and make some music. I've got some hardware, I've got a little more on the way, just some basic stuff that I've bought used, but my journey is going to be learning the techniques and learning the software behind making what I want to make, which is EDM. Yeah, I know, I have simple tastes. Number three is what you're seeing right now, which is the culmination of my learning to put together a semi-cinematic vlogging setup for YouTube. And it's been a really fascinating journey. It's been a lot of fun to do. It's been really great to learn how to set up, you know, a big key light and have a little kicker in the corner, and this background light that's kind of terrible, but I love it because it's terrible. I'd like to do at least a brief tour of what I've got in my setup and how I use it and how it makes things easier for me to make videos, which it had better be easy for me because otherwise I'm not going to do it. That ADHD life. Other things I'd like to do with the channel, I would like to chronicle my weight loss. I weigh a lot. I don't like it. I really don't. And I have a technique that works for me for losing weight and slimming my core. And I kind of want to share that with people, but like I know that's going to invite a ton of comparisons and a ton of heat and anger, and like weight is a really hot button issue for a lot of people, and I might just push that off onto a different channel or put it into its own playlist so you can avoid it if you don't want to see it. So I understand. Believe me, I understand. So I kind of want to do that, but that's well off into the weeds. When I first started the channel, I was thinking I would like review Switch games, and that didn't end up going anywhere. But I have a better setup now where I could do that, if that's at all interesting to anyone. But again, the same caveat applies. I don't have a ton of time to play the games, and I keep browsing through the Wii shop, and I'm not seeing stuff I really want to play. So, I don't know about that. Then, of course, there is the elephant in the room, which is a lot of my most popular videos on this channel. The couple that I've uploaded have been me mermaiding. Mermaiding for me is intensely personal, and it's something I really love to do in private. But I also know that it makes a lot of people happy to see. You know, it makes me really happy to see people just being themselves and getting into a tail and swimming around and being a mermaid. And I love it. And that's definitely going to continue. I'm definitely going to do more work with recording that and making more videos about it, especially as time goes through into summer, because this tail, which I love, I got this tail used. It's just a Swimtails Pro. It's nothing real special. But it uses the Mahina fin, which I love. I love the Mahina. I'm really looking forward to swimming in this. So the thing is, I need to take this tail in. Surprise, surprise. I am extremely shocked. It's too big for me. I'm enormous, and this thing's too big for me. Okay, I am not a seamstress. I am very much not a seamstress. So that might be an interesting thing to chronicle. Resizing a mermaid tail. That could be fun. So like, I think I've outlined maybe 12 videos. That's all the more idea I have for this channel, honestly. Like, I can't think of anything else to do. I might start working more on my makeup and do a makeup tutorial. I apologize, I'm currently unmakeuped. Just because I'm not super confident in the makeup that I have right now, especially on camera. Other than that, there isn't a lot to report on in my life. So, I don't know where to take this channel from here, other than what I've already outlined. So what's the future of this channel? What's the present of this channel? What's the past of this channel? Salute. It's good stuff. Part of me really wants to do skits, but where am I going to get the time to do those? I can't even review PC games. I wonder if there's a way to, like, manufacture time. Is it possible to 3D print time? Cause like, I don't... Look at this. There's no socket in the world that's gonna have this. Where this is actually gonna work. Like, look at, okay. So here it is even, right? Like, the clip for the socket is a good half an inch lower than that. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna have to completely rework this clip. Now it's probably not the time to put my makeup on. Seriously. Oh, washing hands this much makes them really, really dry. Holy cow. Anybody else have problems with dry hands? Yikes. Gosh.